السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. هنبدأ معاكم سلسلة حلقات Tactics in Orthodontics. كل اللي عايز يتابع الحلقات يقدر يتابعها على Tactics in Orthodontic channel على اليوتيوب. هنتكلم على Orthodontic forces, types of orthodontic forces, 3 types of orthodontic force: continuous force, interrupted force, intermittent force. Types of orthodontic forces: threshold 6 hours per day, no tooth movement if forces are applied less than 6 hours per day. From 6 to 24 hours per day. The longer the force is applied, the more the tooth or the teeth will move. The longer the force is applied, the more the teeth will move. Continuous force achieved via fixed appliances never declines to zero. Continuous force, example, braces and light elastics produce continuous force. Interrupted force decline to zero because the patient is instructed to remove the appliance for a certain duration each day. Interrupted force, for example, headgear or face mask worn for a particular duration every day. Interrupted force, a very high force from 250 to 500 grams, needs at least 12 hours per day to be effective. 14 hours per day is optimal to bring skeletal changes. 14 hours per day is optimal to bring skeletal changes. Intermittent forces declines to zero or nearly zero. Such intermittent forces are of high magnitude and cause undermining resorption while moving the teeth. Undermine resorption while moving the tooth. For example, removable appliance with an expansion screw. Force will decay to near zero magnitude once the tooth has moved. This diagram explains types of orthodontic forces. Force level. Light continuous force, most effective in inducing tooth movement. Heavy force cause damages and fail to move the teeth. Light continuous force, most effective in inducing tooth movement. Osteoclastis form, removing laminar dura, tooth movement begins. This process is called frontal resorption. Heavy forces cause damage and fail to move the teeth. Blood vessels of periodontal ligament is totally occluded, then causes cellular necrosis within the bone, then hyalinization. This process is called undermining resorption. Optimal force, high enough to stimulate cellular activity without completely occluding blood vessels in the periodontal ligament. Thank you, and I hope you found the video helpful. If yes, don't forget subscribe Tactics in Orthodontics channel